Invisible Women, Data Bias in a World Designed for Men, by Criado Perez, examines how gender-based data bias is embedded within the world around us. This book demonstrates how gender bias manifests itself in our everyday lives and how it affects both men and women. It shows how the gender data gap can have serious consequences for both genders, and how it can lead to unequal access to services, opportunities, and resources. Criado Perez argues that data bias is deeply entrenched in our society and is a major barrier to gender equality. She shows how data bias can affect everything from medicine and healthcare to transportation and technology. She demonstrates how data bias has resulted in a world designed for men, where women's needs and experiences are often overlooked or ignored. The book explores the history of gender data bias and how it has been used to justify gender discrimination. Criado Perez examines the gender data gap in a range of areas, including health, education, work, transport, and technology. She also discusses how gender data bias has affected policy decisions and how it has been used to justify inequality. Criado Perez argues that data bias can only be tackled if decision-makers recognize it and challenge it. She recommends that decision-makers should be aware of the gender data gap and take steps to ensure that data is collected and analyzed in a gender-sensitive way. She also recommends that decision-makers should consider the impact of gender data bias on policy and service design. Invisible Women is an eye-opening and thought-provoking book that challenges us to rethink our assumptions about data bias. It shows how gender data bias has been used to justify inequality and how it can be used to tackle inequality. It is an important book for anyone interested in gender equality and understanding the impact of data bias on our lives. That's it. Thank you so much for tuning in.